Yo, what's up? We're gonna start or jump right into a trade recap. Alright, end of day trade recap. I think yesterday where we left off, I was saying after NFP, right, most of the markets had linear moves like this, and so my best bet is waiting for something to happen, and then I take it from there, right? And so coming into the Asian session or during the Asian session rather, there was a there was a IBOS, right? And then a pullback, IBOS pullback, and then we come into this zone I had marked out here, right? Reacted from there, pushed lower, and then this was the pivot type of zone that was left there. And then of course, easy as always, I then look for my trade entry questions, right? What am I trying to do? I'm trying to sell, right? I'm trying to play the pullback. Easy as that. That's the first thing. Okay, I'm trying to play pullback, which means I'm counter the swing, but always have to be pro the internal because I don't do counter swing and counter internal. So bare minimum is I'm following the internal, right? That's the bare minimum. Cool. We come in, right? We come to the zone. Actually, I was late. Honestly, I was late. I saw this like 5-10 minutes after it had already printed. Be what was happening here? I think I was making food. Yeah, I was making food here, and I didn't have. Why didn't I have an alert set for this? Look where my alert is, like up here. I don't know why the alert is like up there instead of here. But anyway, I almost missed this because I didn't set the proper alert. Again, focus during the session, right? Cool, I see this. Okay, then I ask myself, is there a break of structure? Yes, I'm following the internal. Cool. Is there a chalk coming back to the zone? And then of course there's like many points where the market shifted. Here, everywhere. Right? So yes, there's a chalk, and then obviously if there's a chalk I have to go down to the 5 minute. I'm looking for that strong liquidation. Strong liquidation has it printed. Right? First and foremost, we have this move down, right? And then we have the sweep up. This is the sweep. We have the second move down, right? Which is the chalk. Yes, we get a chalk. And then finally, we have the strong liquidation when it sweeps the strong high here, right? It's a strong high because it's like it created a low, right? That's hence the strong liquidation. And then secondly, I'm looking for an early entry invalidation before the zone, which basically means if after the strong liquidation, right, if the this candle here, this next one here had moved below this candle, it then invalidates this entry because then the strong liquidation has been used, right? But because it only created an inside bar and not went low, pushed higher, didn't go low, pushed higher, didn't go low, pushed higher, and then only after this candle here breaks this low, I can say the strong liquidation has been used, and then therefore that is the entry, right? And then I got a pretty good entry, right? Entry, I got a pretty good entry, entered the trade, and then it pushed lower up until this point here, right? Pushed here, okay, I could see, okay, it's here. Cool beans. I'm still set on my hands. I'm not worried about it. But then this, okay, I see this move, right? I see this reaction from whatever pivots were in here. I see it here, right? And then technically, if I had not been in this trade, right, I should have taken this one because it's a valid trade, but it would have like ended up being a loss, like also only by like, oh man, millimeters, right? Like fucking pips, bro, like literal pips. But this was a valid risk entry, right? It was moved lower close to the target here, and then unfortunately move higher. But I think it would have been like less than 1 hour loss because after the break and close of the slow here, you can then move your stop loss to the nearest high, which is what I did here, right? It moved down, break and close down here, which means I had a new iBoss here, right? It means I had a new iBoss, 15-minute iBoss there, which meant this is my strong internal high, which means this here is now a zone that created a low. Right now, the whole point of moving your stop above this high, right, is that once, more especially because it moved higher, right, it made the iBoss moved into here, right, valid for sales again, and then break and close, right, which means this zone did its job, broke and close, which means it's a strong zone. Now once the market comes and first and foremost takes out this first zone here, wait, let me do this so it's easier to see. This is actually another zone, right, for continuations. Once this one fails, it's now starting to tell you, okay, is the pullback done? That's where you start to ask yourself, is this pullback done? Even though we haven't hit like this juicy M15 zone here, right? This value, is this fair value gap going to be the point it moves out? Whatever. I don't use like fair value gaps and stuff, but it's the type of like thinking behind it that's important, right? Now this zone fails, this second zone fails. To me, it now feels like, okay, this pullback may be done, right? You may start moving higher. Hence, you want to move your stop to the nearest high. That's how you basically protect from taking straight up break even, right? You just take whatever you get here, which was, I think I got like 0.6, 0.7, point whatever that I got from here. Yeah, it was like 0.8, right? Instead of the full 3.3, I ended up getting 0.8. I think, okay, the reasoning behind the trailing of the stop, I'm okay with that, right? I think I'm okay with taking that break even. I'll call it a break even though it is a win, but sort of is like a break even to me, right? So I'll take that. I don't mind, even though, like, you know, you do get the little bit of feelings where like, damn man, I shouldn't have moved it like from oh, I should have put it like right at break even, like, you know, maybe I should have put it at break even here, or I shouldn't have touched my stop, like, you know, all those thoughts and feelings, they come up. But I think because this is how I was taught the strategy, right, Matt did say that through testing and whatever, he found that these highs are a good place for like to protect profits, because sometimes it does end up moving higher. So I think overall it's okay. What then happens is that I document this, right, and then for future, like when I do like the monthly recap, like look through the trades for the month, I'll then be able to assess if I come across something like this again, right, and then how do I go about dealing with it. So I think in terms of XP, it's good for experience, but in terms of straight up emotions, it does kind of suck, but it's okay, right? I can accept that. And then GPUSD, not much happened, right? We did end up getting a swing break here, but that's pretty much it, right? Because I was expecting also a pullback right into this 4-hour zone, which I didn't get. But like I did say, had we at least gotten the break of this low here, then I can look for sells, but we didn't get that either. After the break of the high, then obviously once it starts coming back into zones down here, then you can look for buys like phase 2A continuations. But anyway, it's late now, so I'm not looking for buys at this point. This is gonna be a 15-minute boss here, and then same with USD CAD. Really not much to go off on, right? Because this is not enough of a pullback here for me to say this is like an internal break. I would say my current internal range would be here and here, right? And then waiting for either side to either it goes lower and then I'm following the internal lower, or it goes higher and then I'm playing the pullback. So either one of the two. And yeah, I think that's it. Peace.